Alrighty, just a very quick ghost overview. So as you can see, Gauntlet, just want Looting 5, Scavenger 6 are the two big ones. Then it's probably Chimera 5. Yeah, and then Luck 7. I don't think. Oh, and then Divine Gift 3 is probably a little bit earlier on. You'll probably want to have a 4 Chimera at the same time. In terms of pickaxe ability, Gemstone of Fusion is a big one. Mining Master, important. Magic Find, Miner's Blessing, important. Maybe if you need Lonesome Miner, take Lonesome Miner. Sky Mall for the pickaxe ability, cooldown, and Quick Forge. That's all you really need. Second drill, you want to drill with a tank because you get reduced cooldown, and then blue cheese if you have it. And then armor wise, Sorrow armor with perfect topazes. You don't need Legion 5, and then renowned. Gyro is nice. You want Hurricane in the Bottle, Runebook, Blaze, Hamtech, Ham Radio, whatever. Uh, and that is about it in terms of what you really need. You should have something running in your forge. Um, and then equipment. These three. You want Rift Necklace, David's Cloak, and Safari Belt because shards are a fair bit of your profit. And then these two are obviously just because of Magic Find. Then you should be leveling up a Golden Dragon. And then if you have a second one, or I guess a third one, whatever, you should have that in your XP share, but I do not. So I have a Rose Dragon. Um, yeah, that is about it in terms of what you really need. Um, yeah. So let's get started. I have a decent lobby. My internet's not lagging. So, yeah. In terms of killing ghosts, okay. They have 1,000,000 health, so you should be doing 1,000,000 damage. But technically, a lot of the money, okay, a lot of the money that you make from ghosts is going to be from the gemstones. Not all of it, and it's not a majority, just because a lot of sources of income from ghosts, which you'll see on my profit tracker, shortly. But the gemstones are a fair bit of the profits. You should be should be making sure you have good pristine first and foremost, and then that you're also using a gemstone gauntlet. Afterwards, it's gonna be magic find sources. So big ones are, make sure if you're one-shotting, have a wolf mixin on for the 7 magic find. Have your beacon on magic find. What else? Obviously, enrichments on magic find. Make sure you have a celestial mason jar, booster cookie. I can show a magic find breakdown of mine at the end. Alright, another thing that I forgot to address was I didn't show my magic find breakdown. So here, I might have some Legion, but that's just going to show up in the additive. Okay, good. I have no Legion. You'll see here, potion effects, obviously. You should have all of these. Some people might forget Celestial Mason Jar. Make sure you have that, but everything else should be in your God Pot and Cookie. Accessory bag is literally just Magic Find enrichments and then Anguish Artifact, which you get from Sorrows itself. Gemstone Gauntlet, it can be Chimera and Divine Gift for your Magic Find. The Heart of the Mountain perk. This is just the pet, and remember, Chimera is just because my pet's obviously not max. I'm using this Jade Dragon, or sorry, Golden Dragon. It's gonna be higher, so just to note. And then obviously pet score. You want 500 for the most magic find. I think it says that in the breakdown as well. Armor is gonna give you 20. Booster cookie is more than pet score, obviously. Equipment, obviously. And then uncategorized is just gonna be ladder, Diana's bookshelf, Sentry Cake, and beacon. And the magic find attribute. But then you also will get more magic find, one from bestiary. you get what 70 magic fine, which is a lot of magic fine. And then I don't know if I remember if I addressed this or not, but there's also ghosts are subterranean and arcane, so you get 5 magic fine and damage if you need the damage from Chukwala and Driftling, and you can also get another from Hideon Wall and Duplico for more damage and more magic fine. I believe I addressed this already, but Wolf Mixin is also more magic fine. It's going to be on kill. That's why you'll see sometimes earlier I was getting 8 more magic fine, partially because of renown, just giving me another 4%. And then during spooky, you should be running Bat Person, but you should still be leveling a Golden Dragon. Because the candy will make a lot more money. You'll be getting over 100 mil an hour. In my case, I'll be getting over 100 mil an hour. Yeah. In terms of what to do with your sorrows and plasmas, you could forge into drills if you want to do that. I usually just make the English talisman line. This is pretty consistently, you know, pretty consistently. I can just undercut one and so you make one every 2 hours, I would say, maybe hour. And it's a little bit more money. Same thing goes with the ghostly boots. You can NPC sell or you can auction sell. Auction sell they do sell because of museum, I believe. I did not include the profit of Hurricane in a bottle. I believe you get 23 per ghost or something like that. So if I kill a ghost, 86 to, or sorry, 4 per, I think it's not, yeah, it's not a consistent number. 195. Yeah, so it's around 4 or 5. 5. Yeah, it's 4 to 5, something like that. If you average that out, 4.5 times 6,000, you're gonna be getting 24,000 in an hour, which would mean to fill up a full hurricane bottle, you end up. Oh, and then I believe this is still the case. Is you do want a normal storm in a bottle. Sorry, thunder in a bottle. Because this might still be a bug. We'll see. I think this is what I'm about to do. Alright, thunder in a bottle. I believe if you have both these in the inventory, when you kill one, so it says I'm at 204. Now I get 4. Oh, maybe not. I got 5. I believe sometimes when you don't roll, it'll go into thunder in a bottle. I know that's the case for M7, but I guess maybe not in this case. Regardless, yeah, you could just make another. You could just make. No, I don't have enough. You could just level those up, and I think yeah, I'll throw that somewhere at some point. But yeah, if you do that, you get maybe if we say it's 4.5, and you get 6,000 kills an hour, you're gonna mean 27,000, whatever, per hour, whatever the heck this is called, and that means it'll take 185 hours of ghosts to max this out. And I believe Hurricane in a bottle around 70 something mil. Yeah, 79 mil, which means you end up making 76 mil profit over 185 hours. Obviously, not really realistic, but it gets you an extra 400k an hour just by having in your inventory. Same thing goes with rune books. I believe you do get runics every once in a while. I believe, and you'll see, they go for 60 mil basically for legendary if you get them up to legendary. So you probably should have that. And this one is for the 2.5 combat wisdom. So you probably make sure you have that juiced out as well. The other one that gives you could also have a whatever the one abacus is. Whatever the heck they're called. I can. There's probably an Elizabeth. Yeah, if you really want to, because I believe they all stack anyways. You could just keep. I probably should buy this actually. Yeah, if you keep this in your inventory, you get combat wisdom, I believe. Wait, what is this called? I don't want to buy it with bits. Because I'm using the razor one. Blue, but I don't think it's gonna show up. Wait, what? Oh, I'm on. Oh man. Okay, so sure, whatever. I believe this should, even if I keep it in inventory, will give me the combat wisdom as well. Yeah, so you can get more combat wisdom by keeping this in your inventory. Yeah, that's about it. Maintaining combo is important because you end up getting an additional like 50 magic fine basically in my case. But if you're lower base magic fine, it's gonna be less. But at 50 combo, it's a fair bit of magic fine that you get from combo. So you might as well try and maintain it. I am not killing in the best way right now, but when I'm farming chill, which I am farming pretty chill right now, I kind of just run in a straight line and then kill whatever I walk in front of. I don't try and flick my mouse very much, but if you're trying to min-max rates, technically you should be doing something like that, except you continuously hold W. But I find that I burn out too quickly if I do that, so I usually do something like this. Then obviously make sure you have something that tell you to use gems, to use your mining ability, because that gives you +2 pristine. So you'll see I have 16 pristine right now, which is slightly more profit. I'd say in the long run, you get 16% increased profit for around half of the time, or a third of the time. So it's 5% increased profit from gemstones, which is around half of your 40% to half of your profit. So if you think about it in that sense, it's probably around 2.5% more profit just by using the mining ability, swapping the mining ability. And then obviously drill swapping is not much of it. It's going to be like, what, 0.5% more profit basically by swapping to a second item. But it's also technically more than that because you get the fuel tank. So, because I'm only counting the blue cheese ability when I say swapping, but you do technically get 10% reduced pickaxe ability cooldown. Yeah, my profit tracker will slowly go up as I get more balanced out row drops. In terms of finding a lobby, I've noticed there tends to be a lot of, nowadays there's a lot of people doing ghosts, and you really shouldn't be doing ghosts if you aren't, like, you see here, there is a guy killing ghosts, but he probably shouldn't be killing ghosts. Yeah. Anyway, so you say I have 452 magic fine. And some people will be very stubborn about switching lobbies as well, even though, like, if you're already in the lobby, they'll drop down, start killing ghosts for no reason, when they could just lobby swap and, you know, save you time, save them time. So just be aware of these kind of things. I have the gyro for if they're like a newer player and they start trying to kill my ghost, then I can just gyro ghosts onto them. Or if they like try hunting the ghosts, that's when I would say using a gyro is a good idea to get someone out of your lobby, especially if you've been in the lobby for a while. You know, sometimes you should not be the one to compromise. This is how I see it. So those are the times I'd say you can use it or should use it. Same thing goes to cells alignment. You can use it in that sense as well. But most of the times, if they're not macroing, they'll notice that you're in the lobby and leave. But sometimes you will see people who are macroing and they'll just drop down, start killing ghosts, and then not see you. And the only time when they'll leave the lobby is when they actually look at their PC screen and their macros, you know. They notice, oh wait, there's someone already in this lobby. Because sometimes, for whatever reason, they seem to have no detection system of players, so they'll just keep running around killing ghosts even though you're already there. So, something to be aware of. Just watchdog report them, and if they don't leave, then move on. That's just how it is with the macroers nowadays. I guess general suggestions are, you know, make sure you have a decent flow with what you're doing, but also don't move your mouse around way too much, otherwise you will just burn out. The profit tracker is not completely accurate. Like, for example, you see right now, my sapphire gemstone is worth 600k more than all the other gemstones, which is not true. It is probably worth around 400k for all the sapphires that I have. And we have another kid trying to kill ghosts, but you know, those are you can tell those are obviously real people because they leave the moment they see you, right? I don't know if it's because of Sar armor or something, but like I feel like I am pretty noticeable in this with this skin and whatnot, but maybe not. Like in the default Sar armor, I can see why people wouldn't be able to see you, but like this glass, right? I'm using a texture pack, is supposed to be white. So, you know, I'm black on white. It's pretty easy to see me. Obviously, unless they're also using a texture pack, then it's like, oh well, that makes sense. Yeah, you'll or not a majority, but your magic find drops, being the plasma, the sorrows, and the ghostly boots, usually end up being the other percent. You'll have around 8 to 10% of your money from ghost shards. As you can see, I'm getting ghost shards. I usually get around, I think, 500 an hour, ghost shards wise. Scavenger is around the same, probably closer to 12% if I remember correctly. It's gonna be a little bit higher than the ghost shards. That ends up being 20%. Your gemstones are around 40 to 50% of your profit, I believe, but it also depends on your magic find. So if you have lower magic find, or your kills per hour are lower, you will have more profit from your gemstones, which is why there is a baseline money-wise with just the gemstones. So if you can one-shot with the gemstone gauntlet and max out your pristine, even without renown, like if you run ancient sorrow, again, I wouldn't recommend doing ghosts to begin with if you're not going to be actually farming them, but you know, if you, for whatever reason, want to make money with ghosts, you can a pretty solid baseline of around 30 mil an hour. It's like probably close to 30 mil an hour from just the gemstones alone by maxing out your pristine, and using a gemstone gauntlet. Obviously, yeah, the profit tracker is not going to be including forge profit or XP. You can probably add around 46 mil an hour from XP, and forge profit can vary from anywhere from, you know, 3 mil an hour up to 13 mil an hour if you know what you're doing, right? In my case, I'm lazy. I'm using refined titanium. This is probably around 3 mil an hour extra. Okay, that's what it averages out to with the reduction from gemstone gauntlet perfects. Technically, you really only need one perfect topaz, and then the other gemstones, you just want to have them in there so you actually roll them from the ability. But if you are running forge and you are like, okay, well, let's min-max the profits, you can put full perfects and it'll reduce your forge cooldown by 2.5 seconds every second, like that you kill. So it says a 1 second cooldown, and you should be hitting that as long as you're at around 5,000 to 6,000 kills an hour. The reason why I say it, and I know there are people who are getting a lot higher than 5,000 to 6,000 kills an hour, but I like to say that's a pretty fair number to be like, all right, you're gonna be making okay money. Like right now, I'm probably leaning. That's just as I'm talking. I'm probably leaning close to 5,000 kills an hour right now. Maybe even lower than that. It's very possible. Um, but you should still be procking your. You should be procking that forge ability and the kinetic ability, because that one I believe is 2-second cooldown for how long you get gemstone, which is why even if you don't one shot ghosts, as long as you can kill a ghost every 2 seconds, technically you do min max the um, gemstones that you get from gemstone gauntlet, so you can still get that 30 mil an hour even without one shotting. Obviously, it's that's going to be all of your money, right? You're not going to be making very much money at all from plasmas and sorrows and scavenger, but I would like to say I'm somewhere close to max in terms of magic find and whatnot. Obviously, my kills per hour is going to be a lot slower than max right now. Or even when I'm, farming normally. Just because I'm farming pretty casually right now. But when you're farming, like if you sweat your balls off, basically, you can get some really crazy numbers. But I just don't think it's very sustainable, and so you really should be, if you plan on ghost grinding, find a sustainable way of grinding ghosts and accept the fact that you're going to be making, maybe 20% less money per hour, but you'll be able to grind for a lot more hours than trying to maintain max rates. Another thing to note is you do want to be in a pretty full lobby. You don't want to be in an empty or a low person lobby, because the ghosts will spawn slower. And you'll see occasionally I will have an issue with the ghost spawning too slow, but I am killing slow enough where it's not where I don't have to go over there. I'll show in a second when it comes. Sometimes they'll get stuck right there, right here as well, and that will affect the spawning over in the tunnel as well, like these ones right here and then those ones right there. And those ones you sometimes need to use to loop around, like you'll go in a full circle and you'll use those ones if you're getting high enough kills per hour, but obviously I'm not having any issues, so that's why I haven't really bothered going over there to kill those guys. Beyond that, I'd say I can pretty comfortably do 70 mil an hour. Even, like 70 mil an hour including pet profit, right? And then forge, I'm not counting, but if you include forge and as well, man, what the hell? If you include forge as well, you can make a lot more than 70 mil an hour and even more if you can do more kills per hour, obviously. So you will probably see some people probably are some videos out there of ghosts still making 90 mil an hour, and that is true. It's just not very sustainable if you plan on grinding for a long while, or maybe it is. If you're if that level of kills per hour is comfortable for you, then maybe you can maintain 90 mil an hour. But I would say for most people in a comfortable setting, you can do 70 mil an hour at quote-unquote max gear. I don't think I'm missing anything besides hunting level for more charm chance, but I could be. And I do think ghosts are still a pretty decent way of making money, even without good magic find, just because of the gemstone gauntlet. And because of hunting, obviously. I believe hunting, you can do 40 mil an hour-ish from doing hunting. Which is why I would say baseline, if you get your profit tracker to be saying 35 mil an hour while leveling a pet, you're better off just doing normal ghosts than you are doing shards. But if you are under a 35 mil an hour on the tracker, you probably should just be doing shards because you'll be making more money. And I also don't really think you should be using ghosts as a fallback method for level of combat. The XP per hour is honestly not the best. It is good, right? Or it's not bad, but there are definitely better sources like M6 or Blaze Slayer, especially, is a pretty popular one for getting XP. So that's really all I wanted to say with this. You can see my profit tracker did stay flat to some degree. It is a little bit higher. I've made 1.4 mil more than I should have. So realistically, my profit should be around a bit under 60 something mil an hour, which is on the lower side for me. Not too sure why. I might be under odds for Sara or Plasma. I haven't gotten the 1 million coin drop, which you get every... I mean, it doesn't increase your rates very much. You get a million coin drop every, bit under 2 hours. But consider I am talking. Yeah. Anyway, that's really all I wanted to cover in terms of, ghosts. Kind of rambled on a little bit, but, for those of you who figured out what the heck I was rambling about,